Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. It's Cone Handmade. So today we'll be making this very simple and basic butterfly Bubu dress. And trust me guys, this is going to be one of the quickest Bubus that you would ever make. It's really that simple. So if you're interested, please stick around and let's begin. Here's the fabric we'll be using. I have this very beautiful Ankara print fabric. It's cotton. What I have here is 2.5 yards, but I cut out a little piece that I'll be using to make the outer pockets. So after I did that off camera, I went ahead to fold the fabric into four, and that's the folded edge towards me. And on this other end, I have the 4 layers of the fabric. So we folded into four because for shift dresses and bubu dresses, most times we cut the front and the back pieces together. Now you notice that this is the right side of the fabric, okay? So you're going to fold with the right side out just like this. And this is very important and you're going to see why. So the first thing is to roll the starting line at the top, came down by roughly around 0.5 inches. Now from that line, we're going to start taking the rest of the measurements. The first is to mark the neck measurements. I just used 3 inches for the front and the back, the neck width. And for the depth, I'm using 1.5 inches for the back and 8 inches for the front because of the V-neck. So we'll just quickly connect those points like this. And for the front, I wanted it to be a bit curved. That's why I used that curved area of my ruler. So the next thing would be to take the half shoulder length, starting from the folded corner, folded edge, sorry. So do that, and then I marked the length of my sleeve. So from that point, I came down by 1.5 inches because of the shoulder slope. Then we're going to connect that shoulder slope to the neck width. Now we take the rest of the body measurements, starting from the shoulder line. I'm going to take my shoulder to bust, shoulder to waist, shoulder to hip, and then the length of the dress plus 2 inches for the hemming allowance. So we'll just quickly extend those points by marking these straight vertical lines. Then we're going to come back starting from the bust line, and we're going to put our body measurements. So for each of them, what I did was my round body measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches for ease. You can increase the 2 inches if you want it really flowy. But for me, I think 2 inches was okay because I wanted it to be a little bit fitted. Then we're going to connect those points just like this. And I'm just curving out those areas so it's not very sharp. All right. So now we'll just flip our fabric over to the other side. Okay, still the right side of the fabric. So now I have these 4 layers towards me, while on the other end is the folded edge. So the first thing again, excuse me, first thing again we're going to do is to mark the shoulder line at the top, and I already marked my bust line and my waistline. So I just marked the hip and the length of the dress, still using the same measurements like we did on the other side. So basically we're just repeating exactly what we did on the other side of the dress. Okay, so same thing again, we put the body measurements for each of them. Round body measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches for ease. And the same measurement on the hip is what we're marking on the length of the dress. So we'll go ahead to connect those points. Okay, so now you notice that for this area, we're not connecting the armhole opening because this is where your arms are going to come out from. Okay, So now that we're done doing the same thing on both sides, it's now time for us to cut. So as always, we're going to start with the back neckline. So you quickly cut that, and then you cut the shoulder line, the shoulder slope, sorry. And basically that's all. Once you cut the neck area and open up this folded side, that's basically all, because all that is left now is just to cut the front neckline and then the length of the dress. So to cut the front neckline, you just move the back piece away and then you just go ahead to cut that out. All right. So after I cut out the front neckline, the next thing I did was to open up the dress. So this is what it looks like on the front, and you can see that all the lines we marked on both sides, they really, like, they are lined and they're on the same place. Such precision. So now I'll just quickly cut out the length of the dress, this line that we marked for the dress length. Okay, so since I used facings, the next thing I did was to cut out the facings for the dress. So for the front, just like for the back, you're going to fold a piece of fabric in half and place it under, and then you just trace out the V-neck shape and cut out with around 3 inches. And this is what you should have. So quickly repeat the same thing for the back, trace it out and cut. Okay, now we're done with the facings. It's now time to attach them. So for this one, you place it like this, right side on top of the dress, and sew around the V. And after sewing, you quickly notch around that area. And then you can flip it over so it stays nice and flat. The notching we did helps it to really relax and stay flat. So the next thing I did was to just do a top stitch, just run a top stitch on the side of the facing. Okay. So I have other videos where I did a more detailed explanation of how to attach facings. So maybe you can check them out. So here I have I've done the notching and I've attached the back neckline facing. So now I'm just joining the dress at the shoulders, and I'm just showing you how I'm going to do that because of the facings. So you align the facings correctly, flip it over to the side of the shoulder and do a straight stitch across. And when you finish that, if you open up the facings, this is what you should have. And when you turn it over, this is the right side of the dress. Okay, so now we're back to the dress, and the next thing to do is to hem it on the sides. Okay, that opening, that butterfly thing that it has, we're going to hem it from one end to the other, and you repeat the same thing on the other side. That's on the right and on the left. So you can start from the hem and run a straight stitch up to the shoulder and take it all the way down to the hem on the other side. Now at the same time, I also hemmed the dress by folding 1 inch twice and do a straight stitch across. All right. So now that we're done with all that, you can see how neat and easy it was. It's really fast. This dress is really fast and easy to make. The next thing we're going to do is to attach the outer pocket. So I have these 2 pieces of fabric here, and it's roughly 11 inches by 11 inches, basically a square. You can make it as big as you want. So I just wanted to sew it down at the top like this. I first folded 1/2 inch and then folded it by 1 inch, and I'll just do a straight stitch across. So now our pockets are ready and it's time to attach it to the dress. I suggest that you do this before you join the dress on the sides so that you'll be working on one piece alone. That would be the front piece alone. It's easier to work with that way. So to attach them, I fold it down by maybe like 1 cm twice, because I didn't want to see any raw edges on the inside. If you have a serger, you can quickly serge it around and then fold it once and place it like this. From the waistline, I came down by roughly 1 inch or so, and then you sew it round. Okay, not round, you have to leave the top open because that's where you put your hands in from. Okay, so now that we've attached our pockets, the very last thing to do will be to join the dress on the sides by following those lines that we marked at the beginning. So that's how you just join it. From that point straight down, follow the chalk and take it down to the very end. Okay, and don't worry about those chalk marks, you can just wipe them off with a piece of cloth, a damp piece of cloth. And yes guys, our dress is ready. Here's what it looks like. If you have more fabric, then the butterfly would be bigger on the sides, but I really wanted it short and simple, and this is what we have. So friends, thank you so much for watching. If you're a new subscriber, you are absolutely welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if this is not your first time, thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification. So till next time, friends. Bye.